If there's one conversation that happens more than any other among guys planning their first Thailand trip, it is this one. Short time or long time? Now, what's the difference? What does it actually cost? And which one makes more sense? If you read online, forums go back and forth on it endlessly. Most answers you get are vague, outdated, or written by someone who visited once 3 years ago and thinks that qualifies them as an expert. This is the straight version. No fluff, no moralizing, no numbers pulled from thin air. Just a very clear breakdown of how both options actually work. What they cost in Bangkok right now, and how to make the decision that fits the kind of trip you're trying to have. So let's talk about basic definitions and why they matter more than you think. Short time, which is abbreviated as ST, means roughly 1 hour. One session, one shot, and then you're done. The girl leaves, you carry on with your night, and nobody owes anyone anything beyond what was agreed up front. It's clean, it's contained, and for certain situations, it's exactly the right call. Long time is abbreviated as LT, means several hours or overnight. Now, the exact duration is always worth clarifying upfront because long time means different things to different girls in different venues. Some interpret it as until midnight, some girls mean until morning, some will stay until noon the next day, and the only way to avoid a misunderstanding is to ask directly before anyone goes anywhere. What time does she leave? Get a clear answer. If she's vague about it, that is information too. Now, understanding these two options isn't just about semantics. The choice between them shapes your entire evening. Your budget, your logistics, your energy for the rest of the night, and whether you wake up the next morning feeling like the trip is going well, or feeling like you've already made a mistake. So let's talk about short time. When it makes sense, and when it doesn't. Short time gets a bad reputation among guys who have never tried it, and an over-enthusiastic following among guys who've never moved past it. The reality, I would say, is more nuanced than either camp admits. Now, the case for short time is efficiency. If you're in Bangkok, the night is young, you have options, and committing to one girl for an entire evening before you've had a chance to see what else is out there is a gamble that doesn't always pay off. Short time lets you make a decision, act on it, and still have the rest of your night available to you. For guys who are still in the early phase of the trip and want to cover ground, that flexibility is genuinely valuable. Now, it's also significantly cheaper per encounter, which matters if you're running on a tighter budget or simply want to be sensible about how the money flows over a long trip. A 2-week holiday with a new girl every night adds up fast on long time rates. Short time keeps the math manageable. Now, the case against it is equally straightforward. 1 hour is short. There's pressure built into that time limit for both parties. And that can affect the quality of the experience in ways that aren't always obvious until you're in it. If you end up with a girl you actually like, the hour ending and her walking out the door has a certain hollow quality that overnight arrangements simply don't have. Now, short term works best when you know what you want, you've already found it, and you want to act on it without disrupting the rest of your plans for the evening. It works worst when you're hoping that a brief encounter is going to feel like more than it is. Now, long time is where most guys eventually land once they've been in Thailand long enough to know what they're doing. And the experience is simply better for a lot of guys. It's more relaxed, more natural, less transactional in feel, even when the transaction is exactly what it is. Waking up in Bangkok with someone next to you, heading out for food in the morning, starting the day at a reasonable pace. That's a different quality of trip compared to the short time rotation. But long time costs more, and the gap is bigger than most guys budget for before arriving. So in Bangkok, from a go-go bar, realistic long time rates currently run between 3,000 and 5,000 baht for a quality girl at, let's say, a mid to upper tier venue. And that's before the bar fine. At 800 to 1,500 baht in bar fine, depending on the venue. And overall, you're looking at 4,000 to maybe 6,000 baht for a single overnight. And at today's exchange rates, that's roughly $115 to $119 per night. From the freelancer scene, the numbers shift considerably. No bar fine, negotiated directly, and without a venue setting the terms around you. Realistic long time rates for a freelancer in Bangkok, they run between sometimes 1,500 up to 3,500 baht, depending on the girl and how the negotiation goes. The same overnight experience through the freelancer route costs you $60 to $100. That's the exchange rate, but the equivalent amount in US dollars. The difference across a 2-week trip is not a rounding error. It's the difference between a trip that feels financially comfortable and one that has you checking your bank balance every morning with a slight sense of dread. Now let's talk about short time costs, the actual numbers. Short time from a go-go bar is cheaper per session, but the structure is the same. Bar fine applies regardless of whether you take a girl for an hour or until the next morning. That's a fixed cost that doesn't scale down just because you're spending less time. So in a go-go bar context, short time saves you on the girl's fee, but you're still paying the full bar fine. The math is less favorable than it looks on paper. Now, short time from a freelancer is where the efficiency argument becomes genuinely compelling. No bar fine, lower session rate, and you're back to doing whatever you want, within 90 minutes. Realistic short-term rates for freelancers in Bangkok are between 1,000 and 1,500. That's $30 to $45. For a single session, with no venue overhead, and no commitment beyond what you agreed. And for guys who want to run multiple sessions in a single evening, which is absolutely possible, especially in Bangkok and Pattaya, if you're organized about it. It's what a lot of guys do, especially if it's the first time in Thailand. The freelancer short-term route is the only version of that strategy that doesn't bankrupt you by the second or the third night. Now let's talk about the hidden costs nobody mentions. The girl's rate and the bar fine are the obvious numbers. But a well-planned evening in Bangkok, in this example, has several other costs that add up faster than expected, and that most videos and most guides conveniently leave out. Lady drinks are the first one. If you're sitting in a go-go bar or beer bar talking to a girl before deciding whether to take her out, buying her drinks is part of the social contract of that specific environment. Each lady drink runs between 150 to 300 baht depending on the venue. Now 2 or 3 drinks over the course of, let's say, an hour before you've even made your decision, it will easily add 400 to 800 baht to that evening before the main event starts. And your own drinks are the second one. A beer or a cocktail at a go-go bar typically costs 150 to 250 baht. Not expensive if you think about it in isolation, but across an entire evening at multiple venues, it contributes meaningfully to the total. And transport is the third one. Grab rides within Bangkok are cheap, 80 to 150 baht for most nightlife area trips. But if you're moving around, between Soi Cowboy to Nana, or even a different location further away, let's say a freelancer club that is across the city, and you do that in one night, those fares, they accumulate. It's not really a deal breaker, but it's worth factoring in when you're budgeting honestly. And food is the fourth one, and it's actually the easiest one to manage. Bangkok has excellent food at every price point. A proper meal at a food court, Terminal 21, could be 60 to 150 baht. Street level options are even cheaper. So if you're taking a girl with food at the end of the night, which is really just a normal part of how the evening wraps up, a late night meal for two people costs you 300 to 500 baht at a decent spot near the nightlife areas. Add all of this together and a realistic honest budget for a single evening in Bangkok. Drinks, bar fine if applicable, the girl, food, transport. It could run you between 3 to 7,000 baht depending on your choices. That would be 90 to 210 US dollars per night. Now over 2 weeks, that range represents a total nightlife spend of somewhere between $1,200 up to $3,000. Knowing that number before you land changes how you plan your overall budget significantly. So how do you decide? Here's a framework that actually works. Stop thinking about this as a permanent preference and start thinking about it as a night-by-night decision based on that context. First night in Bangkok, for example. Short time, freelancer, no bar fine. You're still adjusting to the environment. You don't really know what you're dealing with yet. And keeping the commitment level low while you get your bearings is the right call in my opinion. Make a move, keep it contained, see what the rest of the night looks like. Once you've found your feet, usually by night 2 or 3, start considering a long time for girls you actually connect with. The jump in cost is real, but so is the jump in experience. For a long-time arrangement with the right girl, that is the kind of night that becomes a reference point for the rest of the trip. For extended arrangements, multiple nights with the same girl, I would say go straight to the freelancer route. Never through a go-go bar. The bar fine stacking makes the whole thing financially unwise. And the flexibility you lose by being tied to a venue structure in most cases isn't worth anything at that point. Always negotiate before you go anywhere. Not as a confrontation, but as a clarification. Both parties knowing the terms up front makes everything smoother and eliminates the single biggest source of awkward situations that guys run into when it comes to Thailand nightlife. The conversation takes 30 seconds and saves you a potential headache at the end of the night or the next morning. So here's the bottom line. Short time is efficient, flexible, and absolutely the right tool for specific situations. Long time is more expensive, more immersive, and the better experience when the setup is right. Neither is superior in the abstract. The right answer depends on where you are in your trip, what you're optimizing for that evening, that night, and how much runway you have left in your budget. What matters more than the choice itself is making it with accurate information going in. Bangkok nightlife, Thailand nightlife in general, rewards the guys who know what things actually cost, understand the difference between the options available to them, and make decisions based on reality rather than optimism or bad online advice. So now you have the numbers, use them.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you ever thought about going to Thailand but find the planning overwhelming, don't know where to get started, you can take that first step and join the Thailand Guide. This is where I personally help you plan your Thailand nightlife adventure. You get to watch over 60 in-depth videos, you get PDF guides as well as a Telegram community with other members for any questions before, during or after your trip. It's also frequently used for meetups, going out together, etc. You can find the Thailand Guide and everything else right here. Don't delay that first trip, you will regret it a year from now. Thanks for watching and see you next time.